And welcome to Southview. My name is William Chandler, and to my right,
Terrence Hollis.
and to my left.
Leslie Huffmaster.
And in the control room, we have, as always, Kyle and Amy. And guys, I've got a topic for you all today.
What is
The Oscars. Did you catch it?
I caught about 5 minutes of the.
What about
A
you?
good 30 minutes of it.
Well, in case
I
you all
realized-
aren't up to speed, I clearly know all this off the top of my head. So the best picture was The Shape of Water, which surprised a lot of people. The best actor was Gary Oldman for Darkest Hour, Frances McDormand for Best Actress for Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Best Supporting Actor was Sam Rockwell, and the Best Supporting Actress was Allison Janney in I, Tonya. I didn't see that one. So the Best Picture shocked a lot of people, mainly because...
Refresh us on what was the.
So Shape of Water, for those of you who didn't know, I went to go see it. I was like one of the very few people that didn't do too great in the box office. It was a love story between this woman and this amphibian.
What?
Mutant
A frog?
amphibian. No, mutant amphibian, who's captured and experimented on by the government. She's deaf, and she's a mutant, she's deaf, whatever. Point is, she doesn't communicate too well. And she falls in love with this amphibian, and
They
they
have relations?
They have relations,
So-
yes.
Bestiality won the Oscar.
Which is a nice change of pace from all those musicals and all those war
Bestiality
movies.
for the
Darkest
win.
Hour and Dunkirk didn't win, which was surprising. But no, bestiality wins, everyone.
So we've gone from, our love of war movies and
Yes.
musicals
Yeah.
to
Bestiality.
Bestiality. That
What were the
might
other?
be.
What were the other candidates though?
There was Get Out. There
Get
was
Out,
Dunkirk.
Okay.
Dunkirk, Three Billboards. It was
Darkest Hour.
I like Gary Oldman. You
Like
said
I said,
Gary
I know
Oldman
this
won
off the
Best
top of my head.
Actor. I actually like Gary Oldman. Kudos to him.
Okay,
Yay,
so Darkest
Gary.
Hour, Dunkirk, Phantom Thread, Three Billboards Outside of blah, 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 Get Out, The Post, Call Me By Your Name, Lady Bird. Surprisingly, not Star Wars The Last Jedi after we all expected that, which we'll get in, you and I will get into that one about the whole comic and sci-fi
comic
things not
books,
getting into
yeah.
it. But anyway.
it's not art.
Well, and I think people are overblowing the whole bestiality thing. It was a beautiful movie.
Was it?
It was beautiful. It was
I mean, she's
different.
she's having relations with a fish.
It's funny.
Amphibian.
Does she know any better? She's deaf and mute. Maybe she hasn't been told.
Well, I think she's only mute, and she could hear people. I rephrase my statement, but it's funny. Either you're crippled, like Forrest Gump, or you are in a war movie, or you're in a musical, or you are gay or trans or whatever, and you win all these awards at the Oscars. And but you never see like these comic movies or Star Wars, like Marvel. Leslie was saying that it's not as dramatic. These movies have great suspense,
are
great
drama.
drama, and they're written so
Plenty of
beautifully.
drama.
And,
Plenty.
I mean, the cinematography and the sound mixing and all this stuff.
If that was the case for cinematography, you can go for Blade Runner because
Yeah.
that was one of the most beautiful movies.
Beautifully shot movies.
Yes,
I've seen it
is
in a long time. Yeah.
fantastic.
And
Great.
I'll give credit
Really
to like
great.
Star Wars.
That's why I didn't watch, because
No.
I haven't seen any of these movies,
Well,
and even
fair
none
enough.
if they existed. I was telling my husband that we don't even go to the movies. So why are we watching the
You should watch
Oscars?
Blade Runner though.
Yeah.
Watch Blade Runner.
But and then these sci-fi movies like Star Wars and Blade Runner. I mean, Star Wars won for best sound design. Star Wars won for best effects. That's it. Not actor like Mark Hamill, who gave the best performance of his life, even though he hated the role. I mean, it's,
Blade Runner did win for best cinematography.
oh, did it?
They did.
Well, that's a pleasant
So
surprise. that's fantastic.
That's one thing about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. One.
But no Marvel movies, and which, granted, at least this Oscars wasn't what was it, whitewashed? Like there was protests in the past when it was pretty whitewashed. Minus Peele,
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele
Peele.
winning best writer,
Best original screenplay.
best original screenplay for Get Out, which
was filmed here in Mobile.
Yes.
filmed here in Mobile. Fair Hope, woo woo, go us. But other than that, I don't think too many other people of colored or different descent won anything.
Not
Ethnicities.
many.
Not many.
It's kind of rare for us to really get into it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I still think that this Oscar, it was better than last year's where there were so many protests and everything.
There were still a few protests about Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh,
yeah, Jimmy.
God, yeah.
He's what made me change. He's who made me change the channel. at the Oscars was
Really?
Jimmy Kimmel and his commentary.
Yeah.
Sure did.
And I guess it
Really?
goes back to our
That's
last week's topic.
It was so political. Everything was just so political.
I
We're here
agree.
to talk
and
about
I'm
movies.
glad you mentioned
What our
it.
We're here
current
to talk
state,
about
you know, the current
movies.
state of our country, you know, everything
I
is
mean,
going to be
politics
that
are
way.
We go to the
important
movies to
to
get away
escape
from that
reality.
stuff, and yet we have to bring it in.
Exactly.
The guy that won the Stranger Things director, who also plays something else, he went. I think it was one of the longest speeches in Oscar history or some award recently.
Because they
History.
cut them off, literally. They don't do that now?
There was a political statement in well, actually
Everything.
two of them in Black Panther. I mean,
Which is
there were
fine
two
to a degree.
towards the end.
But I don't know. The political statements, I don't think actors should be getting political. I don't think producers or directors should be getting politicals at these Emmys. They have a huge influence, huge crowd. I don't think they should be doing it.
It's an award ceremony.
It's
not
an award ceremony,
Not a political
not a platform.
forum.
I guess since they
Yes.
do have their, you know, their platform, they want to use it for something they think is positive and it's going to make a
They can
change.
do that every other day of the year.
They
Why
could.
do that here at this award ceremony?
Because it's the biggest
We just wanna
platform
know
they
who
could possibly
wins.
have. So
Yeah, well, they didn't get even 30 million viewers this year, like the lowest ever viewership of the Academy Awards. It was like 26 million, the first time ever in history. I mean, this is even before everybody had TVs. Was the lowest viewership in history. So
Well, at any
whatever.
rate, yeah,
whatever.
we digress. It was an interesting year for the Oscars, and we want to know what you all think. Let us know. But we will be right back here on Southview.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet if you are in a shelter near you. Harlow. Oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
And welcome back to Southview. My name is William Chandler, and to my right,
Terrence Hollis.
and to my left.
Leslie Huffmaster.
And you know what this time is, guys? It's political time, my favorite time of the day. No, we're talking about gun control and guns, and we're right back where we left off for like the last 3 weeks in a row. We've been talking
Yeah.
about guns.
It's going to keep going.
It's
Yeah.
gonna
It's
keep
gonna
going.
keep going.
Well, guys, we're gonna talk about the new legislation in Florida, where I can't believe I'm saying this, but Trump made a good point. It happens once in a blue moon, but anyways, for those of you who don't know, I'm honest as a Republican, but for those of you who don't know, Florida just passed a law raising the age that you could get a
AR-15.
AR-15, thank you very much. Donald Trump rebutted the senator and said, or the lawmakers, saying, hey, did you guys account for these other weapons and these other guns? Why only raise the age for this thing when this thing can kill equally as fantastically, I suppose you could say, or equally as well?
You kind of had a Trump moment there.
Yeah. Huge
sorry.
moment, huge
So,
Trump moment.
anyway.
But anyway, my point being, though, why wouldn't they raise the age limit altogether?
Just
I'm
on
all
gun sales
for
altogether, yeah.
I'm all for raising it
guess
to
be-
21 altogether.
I guess because, you know, I guess with AR-15s, they're more of a stigma to them, you know,
Yeah.
in special
They are
society.
Especially
associated
with
with
the
almost
shootings,
every school
yeah.
shooting.
Recent
history,
yes.
yeah. I mean, guns are found in schools every day. Like, they find guns, students bring guns to school. Most of them are concealed handguns.
But why not ban the shotguns and these other things that we were talking about before? The piercing ammo that breaks apart and
Well, they
can deal
have
multiple.
banned
The
I want to say
buckshots.
armor piercing rounds.
Yeah, that should
Well, I
be.
mean, that's
That's
all
been
fine and well. I mean,
banned.
but the spread
Oh,
fire.
it hasn't been banned.
ammo.
That's new.
No, which one you said?
The armor piercing bullets.
Yeah, those were
Haven't
banned.
they
I think,
always been banned?
No.
Yeah.
And been banned for a while.
They were banned back when Reagan was president.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So,
So it's been a long while.
our lifetimes.
Before mine. So.
Yeah, before mine too, Leslie. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
sorry.
We don't.
Just my lifetime.
But anyway, back to the point though. Why not ban more of these things? And do you think that it's going to become more popularized in every state? And obviously not Alabama anytime soon, but do you think it's going to be more
No,
popularized?
I read an article where they said that our state is more ready for gun control laws than they've ever been. That we're more
I find
open
it
now.
really
I'm
hard
right-
to believe.
I'm right there
I
with
mean,
you.
I read
hard
the
to believe.
article though that said this.
Hard to believe.
I don't know.
You will have cases like this one. I want to say he's in Florida. This young man is 20 years old. He's suing Dick's Sporting Goods and Walmart.
And
Oh, good
Walmart
God.
because he's
Yeah.
20 and he can't buy a gun now.
Exactly. He's saying it's
Not
What
like
if-
you can't go anywhere else to buy a gun.
What
It
if
has
you've
to be-
already purchased the gun and
well, he's not.
then
Well, he's
now
not
you're
20.
only
He's
20?
not 21. So
Yeah.
that's
He's
the thing.
probably been saving up his gift cards for this, and he must be truly offended and hurt that he's unable to purchase from these retailers anymore.
Well, this kind of goes along with the other thing that was passed in Florida with the teachers being allowed to be. So I think it's librarians, like football or any kind of sporting staff, like coaches and whatnot, can carry guns on campus.
But why not a teacher where these are not like anyone's going to go shoot
I
up
don't
the
know.
locker room
we
or
just
the
took away
library?
paddling from teachers, so why are we
My-
going to give them the right to pack now?
My
I
thing
mean,
with this is I don't think it'll be effective because I hate to point this out, but in Dallas, I want to say, was it 2 years ago almost, when that 5 cops were murdered? The highly trained ex-military guy, he went on a rampage, killed 5. It was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
He killed 5 cops with an AR-15. It took the SWAT team hours to get him.
Yeah.
They didn't kill him. A robot with a bomb attached to it killed him.
Oh, really?
So it makes you really think that a teacher can do something to
this is
someone who,
true.
I mean, yes, this guy was,
yeah, and in
you know,
Florida, the resource officers on the campus,
right.
they didn't even enter the building and try to do anything to stop. And now Florida, in Santa Rosa County, and of our schools, middle schools and stuff, have reintroduced resource officers to campus. Because of the Parkland shooting as well.
Yeah.
But we're kind of getting off topic from the gun control law.
Yeah.
I'm all for some gun control.
Well, this kind of ties
obviously.
into it. It's like, you know, with gun control, there's also this other thing about let's give our teachers guns to protect their students. So that's
Well, and here's the thing that
I don't like it.
and it
don't
goes
like
back
it.
to our point that you
I
were
don't
talking
agree
about
with that.
before we did the show, before you got here.
Yeah, if you have to
military.
be the military, right?
Yeah.
If you can't purchase a gun till you're 21, then you shouldn't be able to join the military till you're 21.
And that
Shouldn't
goes
be
back to
able
that whole
vote till you're
debate about
21.
drinking. I mean, these people are risking
Drinking.
their lives, and why aren't they able to drink? And yada yada yada.
They do.
They
They may not
supposed to,
legally
Leslie. They're
be
not
able
supposed
to,
Really
but
not
I know
supposed
for a
to.
fact from my own family members, there wasn't a time that he did not drink in the military. They drink, but legally,
Legal.
no, they're not supposed to.
And I think raising the age to do military, like Amy said, ROTC, sure, go for it. Do it up until you're 21 and then go in.
And then go into the military. At 18, you're not
I
sounding mature
really don't think that would
enough.
deter anything, though,
You're not
just because
ready.
of the fact of how widespread the guns are and how many there actually are in America.
Yeah.
I really don't think that would deter
And this
anything.
makes me happy with this Florida law. You and I have talked about this all the time. You're pretty left and I'm pretty right, and it makes me happy where we can find this gray, where I think Republicans and Democrats are pretty okay with this 21 age limit on the
AR-15.
15. Thank you. I think this is good. This is a good first start.
I agree, but I
Uh-oh.
really think.
Come on. There is a but. There's always a but
I
with you.
agree, however.
It's just because of the fact that, like I said, there's so many people who can still find numerous ways of.
Oh, there's
What
always
about
going to
all
be
the
those
illegal
methods.
ways
Black
to acquire
markets,
guns?
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
the
just
black
in Florida, though.
market,
Think
off
about
the
it.
street,
Passing it down.
stealing.
You can always go to another state and
Yeah.
still buy your weapon.
Another state, another retailer, another
It's not perfect.
country. You can steal your
I-
parents.
I don't think you can go to another country.
I'm a very
I don't know.
I'm a very optimistic
That's a little bit strange.
Terrence, you're so funny.
it's
I like to think of
I
myself
don't
as an
think that
optimist.
you
This is a
can.
good first step. Is it perfect?
No.
I'm a realist.
Well,
I'm a realist. I'm gonna look
obviously.
at it. You know,
Obviously, it's
anything
not
is perfect when
but
it
it
comes
is
to
a
legislation
it is
the
a
first time
good
around.
first step. It is a good first step. I'm proud of our legislatures for actually doing something, and we're not doing the whole
The
circle.
circle.
this is
yeah.
just in the state of Florida. Let's see
Something
what happens in the rest of the country.
It's a
though.
beta test.
Yes.
It's a beta test,
Yes.
and how it'll affect the rest of the country.
I think that especially with Alabama, we could do it. Don't sing it. Please don't sing it. We could do it, but other states like Mississippi and Texas,
They're not going to follow suit.
I don't think Texas would do anything this.
The Lone Star State.
The
You really
Lone
see them
Star
doing it.
State. It's all about cowboys and Indians and guns and.
Yeah.
I just said 3 in politically incorrect terms back
It's
to back.
okay.
It's okay.
But it's all right.
Political
But yeah,
correctness
but they
also.
are about. They're all about their
Yeah.
weapons, their
Right.
guns, their hunting. I mean, my husband hunts. We own guns.
Yeah.
We have them.
I mean, no.
I don't have an AR-15.
I'm not against people owning guns. It's more or less the AR-15s. There's
Set
no
limits.
Yes.
Well, to put
I
a
don't
wrap
think-
on this,
Yes.
I think this is excellent. I think it's a good first step. Is it perfect? No.
No.
Are we being realistic? This is a beta test. This is a beta test. We'll see how it goes. And fingers crossed, this actually picks up around the country.
Yes.
Anyways,
Yeah.
guys, we will be right back here on Southview.
Okay, so we drowned the fire.
Yep.
Stirred it. Drowned it again. And now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Welcome back, all you beautiful people, to Southview. To my right,
Terrence Hollis.
to my left,
Leslie Huffmaster.
and I am, of course, William Chandler. And guys, we're going to wrap this up strong. You know what? Another political subject. So we're talking about today, North Korea.
Yes.
It's been a little while since we've discussed them
It
in
has
great
been
detail.
since the Olympics.
It's been since Leslie. I love how the Olympics just
They've
brings everyone
been
together.
pretty good.
I love the
wanna say
Olympics.
pretty quiet.
Pretty quiet.
Since then,
Pretty
they
quiet.
seem to be behaving themselves a
No
little
more
bit
nuclear
better.
threats. No more.
And now their latest
well,
is
actually,
they're considering denuclearization.
Well, their only reason for wanting them was because they're in fear of like the United States.
Other people attacking them.
Mostly us.
we don't do preemptive strikes. Last I checked,
No, we do not. But
we only do
they-
it when we are antagonized, and not
I understand their reasoning for it, but
I don't trust Kim Jong Un.
Exactly.
At
It's
all.
like-
I don't trust him
I'm not
either.
even blunt.
Yeah.
I don't
It's,
trust
I
him.
think he's trying to pull the wool over the rest of the world's eyes.
Yes.
He's trying to just get South Korea on his side, on his team. Hey, come join me.
Yeah, I'm going to rope a little bit of Terrence's realism here. It ain't going to happen. We're not going to see a unified Korea in our lifetime.
No.
Kim Jong Un, as long as he's still seated, we're still
I
going to
think
have
the only
issues.
way that would actually happen is if the Kim, I guess, dynasty is what you would call it.
Kim Dynasty, yeah.
That, you know,
The Un Dynasty.
yeah, they were no longer around.
Yeah.
But that's
They won't. You don't think that South Korea will just say, okay, yeah, we'll join the North?
Oh,
No,
God, they
no.
will never say that.
No?
They would
No.
never, ever do
You
that.
don't think he can sweet talk him into it?
Oh,
No.
God, no.
He's
Have you
a-
seen this man?
Can he sweet
got a-
talk anybody into anything?
he's a crazy dictator that executed his, I want to say his uncle.
His uncle. It was his uncle.
His
it was
uncle
his uncle.
with an AR,
Yep.
an AA gun, right?
Yep.
Okay.
They should ban.
And his brother with I want to say
His own brother?
XV or XV nerve gas or something like that.
See, point is, they all died. His father died strangely. I wonder how
Killed
that
his father?
No,
No, I don't-
he actually died of was it heart attack or some kind of heart problem?
supposedly.
Yeah.
Supposedly. But anyway, the point is, I'm very realistic. It ain't going to happen. But I will say this much about the nuclear thing, because that's a big topic. For those of you who don't know, there is a countdown to midnight, which is at midnight. When the clock strikes midnight, that means atomic, nuclear, bye-bye world, we're all going to die.
Not necessarily nuclear, but just the end of the world.
The
as
end
we
of the
know.
world.
Yes.
It's been
Wait,
at
this night at midnight?
No, the doomsday clock.
It's a
You've never-
theoretical clock based off of world events, facts, and as we're getting more and more into like wartime, into World War III, ding, ding,
because
ding,
people really believe that
doom.
World War III will be the actual.
End of the world.
Because we've gotten so advanced with our weaponry and nuclear.
We'll kill each other off. Yeah.
Well, anyway,
I mean,
but-
there's so many. Who doesn't have nuclear
The
weapons
reason why I bring this
nowadays?
up,
There's plenty of people who don't have them, but people who do have them, they have a lot.
Yeah, Wakanda, for example. Anyways,
What about America? America has a lot,
vibranium warheads. I like it. Anyway, but back to my point about the nuclear clock. Scientists and what are the people called that plot out the nuclear clock, the clock to midnight? Scientists. We're just gonna call them people.
Let's just say Doomsday Association or something.
Doomsday.
I really,
The professors at Doomsday U have stated that we're probably for the first time in a decade, we are going to move back, I think, 1 or 2 minutes, so it'll be 5 minutes till midnight instead of 3 where it has been for a while. And that's
it
pretty
moved
huge.
closer because of President Trump. Once he was elected, they actually moved it closer to midnight,
Yep.
mostly because of his rhetoric about,
North Korea. But look how that's going.
China, and
I'm not giving any credit to Trump on this on these talks.
No,
I refuse.
The only one thing I will say about this, about North Korea and South Korea, we don't have any player in the game right now over there.
Nope.
Our ambassador, he quit. So
There's a reason.
Yeah.
No. Oh, wait. We have that basketball player with the nose piercings.
Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman. There's our representative for the United States, a pot-smoking basketball
NFL?
player.
Yes. I said NFL.
Whatever he was.
NBA.
Yeah. He's
Chicago
representing
Bulls.
America,
Part of
guys.
the-
We are safe.
Point
We are
guard.
secure. Everything's going to work out just fine.
I mean,
Yeah. I
part of
doubt
the
it.
greatest team ever
He's crazy.
in sports.
He
He's
was crazy.
crazy.
We dubbed him crazy in the 90s.
He was crazy before then. He's crazy
in the 90s when he started dyeing his hair and getting all the tattoos and doing weird stuff.
But now let's rope ourselves back into this. So nuclear talks and possibly peace talks and de-arming. We're not.
I
gonna
don't
see
think it's.
unified
I don't think
nuclear,
it's real. I don't. I think there's something going
Posterity.
on with that
A
because
charade.
I wouldn't say a charade.
charade facade. I guess you can say.
I wouldn't say either. I would say they're probably going to talk for 2 minutes. Hi, Kim Jong-un. Hi, South Korean president. So let's de-arm.
No.
Nah.
Yeah.
Okay, great talk, Chief.
Yeah.
See you in the next 20 years. Okay, bye.
Yeah. No.
Send
That's
a
gonna
thank
be
you,
it.
send a thank you card for your hospitality.
Oh, yeah.
Probably more than likely just wants food for his, military, if anything else, because
Who,
They're
Kim?
starving.
Kim?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, North Korea's in a
They're starting. There's
huge...
20
Because of
Is
the
it 25 or 28 million
trade.
people?
It is 25 million people.
Because of the trade ban.
Embargo.
Embargo, yes. That was issued by President Trump.
Trading.
I've heard that that's why North Korea has now
No,
decided
that's
that
been
they
in place
want.
before Trump,
Oh, okay.
Barack, and Bush
Okay.
even gotten.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I heard that that's why now he's wanting to do these talks about denuclearization is because it's really starting to hurt the country. So
His
very
country has
bad.
been hurting
It's been
for a
hurting
long
for a
time.
long
Okay.
time.
He just
Like I
doesn't
said,
care.
before even Barack and Bush got into office, it's been hurting. It's just gotten, it got a little bit better for them because we were giving them food a little bit. Say, if you stop this, we'll give you some food.
And they stopped for like 2 weeks, and then we
gave
went
them-
right back to it.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's more or less like you
And
give
so
us.
now
If you give a
Trump
mouse a
cut
cookie.
all that off, and then that's
Yes.
what made
Yeah.
him start doing the nuclear testing more frequently, right? Was when Trump
Who
cut him
knows
off
what goes on
completely.
in that small man's
I really think it was more or
Yeah.
less because, power struggle. He wants to prove to the other generals and whatnot that he's in charge. That he's, just
He's
as.
got all the power.
Yes. I mean, he does, technically. I mean, of course, he's not like.
Of North Korea. North Korea's this little bitty
It
tiny
worries me.
country in the grand scheme of
worries
things.
me.
They're actually still one of the
Immeasurably.
biggest armies in the world, which is still a problem in itself. Yes, they're.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, they're this. I mean, in comparison to.
They may not be well trained, but
United
they're
States.
still just as deadly by the sheer numbers of them. That can
Remember
be a problem.
the Viet Cong? They weren't well-trained soldiers,
This
but
is
they
true.
overwhelmed our soldiers
Right.
based
Right.
off of numbers, and
Yeah.
look,
We lost.
Yeah, we did. We lost.
We lost.
It was their numbers and also
Yeah.
the fact that we didn't know how to navigate the
The
jungle.
terrain.
Yeah, the jungles is what got us too. But
nevertheless, I don't think this is going to turn into anything fruitful. I
No.
hate to say it, but it's true. Kim Jong-un is a trigger-happy, button-pressing little man who gets his... Sounds like someone we know, but he gets as aggravated as humanly possible
Wow.
off of everything. I'm a Republican, and I'll be blunt about my president. I voted for him, and I still have my issues with him. I'll call him out when he's...
Can't believe you voted for me. Wow.
It was him or Hillary, but anyway.
I mean,
It was never
I
Hillary.
couldn't vote for Hillary either.
Yeah, but anyways, back to North Korea. So what do you think is going to come out of it? Is it going to be that 2-minute conversation that I so elegantly deserve an Oscar for my performance for? Or what do you think is going to happen? What's going to happen?
Personally, I think that they may actually try something else. He may say, okay, I'll get rid of, like, maybe not my nukes, but maybe some chemical weapons, something else, you know, just to...
I think he's going to. I think he's going to surprise us because he has surprised.
He's going to surprise. Yeah, he surprised us in the past.
so far. He has surprised us so far.
No.
Did anybody think that
No.
we were going to get to this point that we're at now?
No, and no one thought
No.
that we'd be getting into World War III with him either. But
No.
Well, people thought that, but nobody thought that he'd be talking with South Korea at this
They-
time about denuclearization.
I do want to throw
Nobody
this out.
thought
I want to
that.
throw this out there, though.
yeah, throw
There
it.
is no way that Korea will both of them will reunite just because of the fact that one, they will push not South Korea, America and China out of the peninsula. I don't think either one of them want
Us to abandon them.
No.
They can't afford to.
not necessarily that. The technology
talking
that South Korea has, and then the resources that North Korea technically has that they just can't access because no technology to mining or whatnot. That's an economic powerhouse just sitting there.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
we'll
We'll probably
see.
be talking about this next week and seeing who was right and who was wrong. What had happened was.
what had happened was. Anyways, guys, it has been a fantastic show. Another fantastic, politically centered show. I love
what
you
we
guys.
do
It's
here.
been a great time. Anyways, on behalf of everyone from Southview, thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Peace out, Jag Nation.